Hello, and welcome to another episode of the TopCup podcast, a semi-weekly podcast.
Occasional.
Verging on monthly.
Verging on monthly, where usually two buds talk out their butts, fill your cups with quarantine times. But today we are joined by a third, who I will get to in just a second. I am today's host, Daniel Arroyo. Alongside me, the good cup, John Oyevides.
Hello.
John, say hi. And coming back after a 6-episode break, the Solo Cup.
Solo Cup. Define China.
Martinez.
Define China. Don't you dare take that from me, you jerk. I have a name. Mr. Good Cup. I am the Top Cup. How dare you? How dare you? Hello, I'm doing good. How you doing, bud?
Do you want me to reintroduce you?
Yes.
The teacup.
Okay.
Bring the mic down from the ceiling. Come on, grab it. Hold on. Give me a sec.
I like how we just have, I have, the ability to just grab a second mic. Which by the way, when I did
go.
say that in my class.
Go.
And on the return after a 6-episode vacation, the heavyweight China. You can't put me on the spot like this.
I gave you the names.
Coming in at 4 eyes, muscles to last a year, and a nice white towel to diffuse light for when he streams. We got the good China, the Solo Cup, the big
The Top Cup.
Joel, the Top Cup.
How dare you? How dare you? God, you messed it up again, Daniel. That's it. You get only second chances.
That
I
towel
do
really
that for
makes
you,
a
buddy.
fucking difference.
It
What?
does. It really does.
that towel really makes a difference. That's all I gotta say. Like
How
as soon as you put it, your camera, because like it's super reflective, your camera just got really fucking dark to like compensate. 'Cause it was just like blowing out.
Nice.
But,
See, it works. It works really well.
Real quickly,
if you're-
Daniel. Let me finish, motherfucker. The class when I was in, when they're like my professor was like, "Oh, that mic," and I was like, it was like $100, and everyone was like that. I kind of accidentally brought this one into view. And he's like, "Oh, you got two."
It's pre-show content. Pre-show content,
I
folks.
want to give them that spatial audio. It really
not-
feels like they're in.
Some good
Okay,
ASMR
First
there.
of all, not plugged in. You
DTX.
can't hear it, okay? However, now you can. How's it going?
Hello.
I have
The
it on.
video
I have
was
it on
so
hand.
off for that.
I have
The
it on
video
hand.
is super off for that. Anyway, if you're joining us for the
For me,
first
it's fine.
time, then be sure to check us out on podcast platforms like Google, Apple Podcasts, as well as Spotify. If you're watching this on YouTube because the video actually worked and we got it uploaded, then, give us a like because we're trying. Anyhow,
Are you?
yes, John. Well, I don't know. Is John trying?
Are you, John? I'm gonna try to live this fucking thing a little bit harder.
Okay, so run the podcast on my laptop, output the HDMI into my capture card into my computer.
Write it down. So today, hey, it's my Uzumaki book that I'm sure you haven't read yet. Anyway,
Oh, that's a-
You don't know that. You can't fucking say that for sure.
anyway,
I feel
Joe,
like
how have you been doing during the quarantines?
I've been doing good, man. I mean, I've been doing the best I can, really. Just been spending all my time in my room, really
Aren't we all?
really becoming one with this place.
Oh yeah.
Become familiar with every single inch.
Oh, I bet you have.
At least you had a new
I try
room.
to
Just
what?
I said at least you had like a
specimen
new
on
room.
every wall.
New room. I mean, at this point, it's
I
been a
mean-
year.
Has it?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure by the next time
technically
he
no,
joins us.
not yet. It'll be a year in like 2 weeks.
Holy shit.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah.
Why is this
No
happening?
wonder this year's
What's
been so
going
peaceful,
on?
Brianna.
I don't know. You're
kidding.
like glitching out over there.
Kidding.
Daniel, stop it. You're glitching the matrix. Stop moving stuff. Just stay still.
Sorry, I knocked things down.
Anyway, as I was saying before you rudely interrupted, really getting to know myself as well. Just been spending a lot of time meditating, Wake up every morning like around 5 o'clock, and then I just meditate till the sun rises. Drinking some tea, you know.
Blood of your
Really
enemies.
getting really blood of COVID patients, because no, you know, that's fucked up. I'm not going there.
doing your work for you.
Jesus.
Nah, I've been doing none of that. I've just been playing fucking games. I've been playing a lot of games. I'm watching a lot of shows. I sort of go through phases. I mean, I was going through phases early on with just like I play games, and then I just watch movies, and then I just watch shows, and then I read a little bit, and then I just play games. But these past 2 weeks, I just been playing Assassin's Creed. Like the past 2 or 3 weeks,
All the Assassin's
the entire
Creed.
series, starting from the beginning. That's been my life lately.
Nice.
Yeah.
I picked up, and I know we've talked about Assassin's Creed in the last 2 episodes, which is hilarious. But recent news of Assassin's Creed Valhalla coming out has resparked my interest because I have a problem. And I've been playing Assassin's Creed Origins, and I actually had some time to grind that out because Alma has been doing some schoolwork. And she's been having to work for a couple of hours a day, so I've been putting in some time, and I'm back in. I'm back in enjoying it, and it's been fun. Hopefully, I can keep the streak going, even though the semester's over for her technically. But God, I just really hope I can keep riding this wave because it's been fun. It's been really fun.
I want this semester to be
Same.
over already.
Honestly,
I was gonna say, John.
I mean, I don't have any schoolwork to do, so it's been really fun just playing games. Like, I haven't played games like all day long since high school. That's not true at all.
Not true at all.
Not even a little bit
whatsoever.
I haven't played games like this in about like 2-3 years. Whenever I stopped working nights, and John's and my schedule like shifted, because we would play like pretty much like all night long, because we had like the same schedule, right? We would go wake up late afternoon or mid afternoon, go to work, close, come back home, play all night
Destiny.
till the morning. Yeah, pretty much, or whatever game it was. We were Destiny pretty much always. Can't remember any other games that we played.
Nope.
I haven't played like that in a long time, and it's been really fun. I did the same thing as you, pretty much. There was the news that we're gonna get Valhalla stuff coming soon, and the games were on sale, so I bought them all. I wanted to pretty much pick up from Unity and go and play everything that I haven't played, but I figured, fuck it, I'll just go back from the beginning. Because I haven't played the first one in a long time, I remember, and I wanted to see if I still hated 3. So I started from the beginning, played 1, and I like the combat. I remember sucking, but it actually wasn't bad. Because I remember it was just you had to wait and counter, or it was just very boring. But I don't know if I didn't pick up on it the first time, but if you hit the attack button as soon as your attack like hits, if you do that 3 times, then it's an automatic kill on any person, which is great. It made combat a lot easier. It made combat was actually pretty good. Altair voice acting sucked. The voice acting pretty much almost across the board in the first game sucks. It's bad.
It's all bad.
The cutscenes suck. It's not all bad. Voice acting? What do you mean?
No,
Lucy wasn't terrible.
No. I'm saying from AC1. It's terrible. Yeah, no. It's all terrible.
It's not all terrible. It's just mostly terrible. When's the last time you played it? Okay.
The voice acting. I'm saying, not the fucking game.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm asking you. I'm telling you, it's not all bad. It's just mostly bad. It's like 99% bad.
Okay.
There's 1% still pretty good. Let's give it that much. It's Altair. His voice acting sucks, but I liked him being who he was. I liked him being more stubborn and cocky, and there was a lot of more philosophical musings in the first one that I remembered from the series. But that's pretty much what made me love the series in the first place, and that gets lost with Ezio. But with Ezio, we gain much better gameplay, much better voice cast, and a much more interesting and charming character. Definitely. And I had a great time playing through his trilogy up until Revelations, at which point it just felt like just a collection of side missions that I didn't want to do. But Constantinople was really fun. And then I played 3, which I hated for the longest time. And I learned that it is actually really good. It goes back to the roots, the philosophical roots of Assassin's Creed with Connor, and the Templars and how similar they are, and meaning of freedom and what that costs, and peace, and having that be set against the background. Oh, I thank you for guys for both being on your phones while I'm talking.
Sorry, I have
Having
a side
having
mission.
that be set against the background of the American Revolution, it was just really smart. I really like Connor stuff. Everything in the past was great. I really enjoyed. There's problems with the menus. There's basic gameplay problems, but the story, which I hated the first time through, I loved. Desmond's stuff still sucks, and that's because it was the ending was very unsatisfactory. And playing through it's because they definitely did. It feels like they did not focus. They did not have an ending in mind. And it was clear that they wanted to make a whole lot more of these games, but Desmond was sort of tethering them to something that they needed to get rid of, so they sort of just ended his shit off. But killed him, saved the world, so that way Abstergo can continue doing the anime stuff, so we can continue getting Assassin's Creed games. And Black Flag's amazing. I've been spending so much time on that. Thoughts, ideas, concerns, guys. Thank you for coming to my fucking TED Talk, assholes.
Sorry, something came up.
Doesn't it always?
I need to. Anyways,
We'll edit it
I was
out.
gonna
The
say,
last 3
speaking-
minutes wasn't really important, I think.
I was gonna say, and speaking
I
on
know what you
voice
said.
acting, I know it's like it's a huge jump, but I mean, I think you guys both already know, but if and when you guys get to Odyssey, I implore you to play as Cassandra and not Alexios.
Well, you know me. If I get an option, I'm gonna play as a girl, as a female,
Yeah.
not a girl.
I already
It'd
play
be-
as
So she's a woman. How dare you, Joel?
Okay. I just meant like the voice acting is so much better, and she just plays off the character so much.
So
more.
much better. Edward? Do you remember Edward Kenway?
Oh wait, okay, no, I was talking
so
about
much
I was
better
talking
than
about Cassandra.
Alexios.
Alexios, yes. Sorry,
so much better than.
I
Got it. I thought you meant like
Yeah.
Everybody
best out of
remembers
all the
Matt
fucking-
Ryan,
No.
bro.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's dare
He
I
plays
say
that
no, he's
fucking
definitely more
pirate.
charming than Ezio, just because Ezio was a bit more quiet. Like we didn't get a lot of dialogue from Ezio, but this fucking guy's talking all the time.
Ezio's
great.
the smooth.
Like overall, I feel
Ezio's the smooth, classic, kind of suave, charming. Matt Ryan as Edward Kenway is the rough, gritty pirate, suave.
I think
he's hot. He's hot because he's bad.
one's charming,
That's
one's charismatic. Is I feel like there's a subtle difference in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Very,
that makes
very
sense.
subtle.
Yeah, and also just because I was getting back to Odyssey. I don't think it's something that a lot of people can notice. I don't know if it's like really that like in your face about, but I don't know. I think Cassandra's just her voice, the way she pronounces things, just feels a little bit more natural because like the voice actor is actually Greek. You know,
Mhm.
It's
Or
like
whatever.
well, I guess not in that way, but it's like Mass Effect,
Mm.
where I felt FemShep was way better
Mhm.
than male Shep. Wasn't Jennifer? Was it Jennifer Hale? Yeah,
I mean,
Jennifer Hale
I would
voiced
say so.
voiced Shepard, Commander Shepard. And
yeah,
she was
and-
she was great. She's the if they make any adaptation of that, it has to be FemShep. Like they have to do
Yeah.
FemShep.
Oh hell yeah! Yeah, no.
Also,
I
like,
mean, it's just the way to go.
Female voices also lead very well, I think, in like terms of like dynamics from like when it's like the soft, like caring stuff. It's a lot. It just feels way more natural. Like a lot, you feel it more. But then you get the anger and you still feel it, like the aggressiveness. Whereas something about big burly men, because it's always the fucking character being like trying to be really soft and loving. It's just kind of like it feels off. I don't know. You suit well
I
in
mean,
anger.
not unless it's Ezio
Yeah.
Is that?
or
I
even
mean,
or even fucking Edward.
I mean, they're. I mean, yeah, I guess, but they're slim, aren't they?
They are slim, yeah.
Whereas Alexi,
Connor is
I'm saying
beefy. Connor
he
is
is.
beefy, dude.
He is. He's like I was looking back and like he has such fucking huge broad shoulders compared
He
to like
does, yeah.
some of like the other characters, especially like you throw him up against what do you call it? I don't remember his name. Unity dude.
Arno.
Arno. Arno is probably like the slimmest of all of them. You know. But,
You misspoke, and now I'm thinking John Slennon.
okay. Are you gonna be back, Daniel? Or
White now.
Yeah, sorry. What were we talking about?
When did the game? We're talking about Assassin's Creed.
wait, I thought you said
guess.
you had to go.
Oh no.
Oh,
When did the gameplay fundamentally changed with Origins, right?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. That's when it definitely got way more RPG.
It became more open, or no?
Well, the map is pretty fucking huge. Like I was playing through it. I was playing through it, and when I picked it back up, and it was just a whole fucking plethora of, oh my fucking god, there's way too much for me to do to blow through this game, and I can't change the difficulty. Wait, but
why?
I can't find the difficulty setting. I don't think Origins lets you.
That's annoying. Yeah,
but
Odyssey, you can change that shit on the fly.
Yeah, I'm definitely dropping it for Odyssey. But anyway, I made my way through, but that map is fucking ridiculously huge. Ridiculous.
I want to see it now because
like not like Skyrim huge.
Because so far the biggest map I've played so far has been Black Flag, which makes sense. It's the newest of the games that I played so far right now.
And
there's just so much, a lot of it's like open water, right? And there's just so fucking much to collect. Oh my god! I thought it was gonna be manageable. Sorry, I thought it was gonna be manageable when I opened my map, and then I zoomed out, and then I'm like, okay, I can do this. And then I zoomed out even more. I'm like, oh, this is just the top left sector out of 8. This is way too much. This is like all the games combined.
And that is why I do not like Black Flag. Another reason is because you know how much I hate the naval combat, which means I have to be on my boat, which means being on my boat on the open sea is like opening up so many doors for me to get attacked and have to engage in naval combat. And I just don't like that. I hate it.
Yeah.
It looks beautiful. It's fun. It's great. I love the shanties and everything, but I just do not like naval combat. It just fucks me up.
I will send this right now.
Yeah, you just suck. I'm sorry, bro. I don't know what to tell you.
So I'm gonna send you guys right now.
Naval combat was fun.
I don't know if you can see this in the I don't know if you have the immediate access to the chat, but I'm sending a picture. It is Origins maps layered on top of Odyssey, Daniel. This is just but if you can't open it, I'll kind of show it to you right now.
Man. Oh fuck. Oh fuck.
Okay,
there's like another third of maybe even a quarter of that fucking screen.
So Odyssey is bigger?
Odyssey's way bigger.
Crazy big.
Well, I'm glad that they said that for Valhalla they're gonna make
Shrink
it smaller.
Yeah.
Make it
To be fair, Odyssey, like Black Flag, has a lot of open water. Like it is, whereas
I do not like that.
Like you can kind of barely tell, but right here, that's the most water in Origins. Whereas Odyssey's map, I mean, you can tell just like all of this, just a bunch of open water with little tiny islands everywhere. Like I constantly forget that they're like, I'll scroll up and I'll keep scrolling up. I'm like, oh yeah, there are islands up here. It's so weird, but dude, I would highly suggest for both of you, because I know you guys both enjoy it. Before you play Odyssey, just like look up and read over like any short, like fun Greek mythology stories, because they make the experience so much better. Like when you're playing Odyssey, and you like go like, wait, I recognize this quest, and like you're barely at the beginning, and then like by the time you finish, you're just like, this is great. This is so great.
It's pretty much why I did this, right? Valhalla was finally like being confirmed because it's been rumored for the longest time now. It's being confirmed, and we're gonna get a reveal. I'm like, okay, you know, I love Norse mythology and I love Vikings. So I'm like, I really want to experience this and see what they do to that, like they did with Odyssey and Origins. So I got to play these games, and unlike Daniel, I didn't want to just continue where I left off. I wanted to go back from the beginning, and I think I'm really appreciating Assassin's Creed as a series and every step they take to like improving and how it's improved.
Every step
I'm glad I've done this, even though it's taken me a long time.
Every game.
No,
I could probably
definitely be way more rewarding that way. But
I'm really enjoying it.
But yeah, I might do the same for when Valhalla comes back or comes out. But yeah, no, look up like any characters, any figures from Greek mythology that you remember, like stories wise. Just like look them up, and I guarantee you'll probably run into a good amount of the fun ones in some aspect. Because there are some that I mean they don't take place during the Hellenistic era, which is when Odyssey takes place, but it takes place in a different time frame, like the fucking Dark Age, whatever. I'm not gonna get into it. I took a Greek mythology class. I remember all the fucking pages.
Did you pass?
Cool, man.
Yeah, I did.
See?
No,
sure.
Dude, honestly, okay, real quickly. One of my professors, because one of my classes right now is about Plato is one of them. So when they reference Greek shit, I guess he was just pulling on images that like looked about right for ancient Greece, and a few of them I was like, "That's Assassin's Creed." I recognize that place, dude. Honestly, I was playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey in my group while I was doing my Greek class, around like that semester, and like it made some of the shit so much easier because I could actually remember some of the temples and places that we would talk about.
I've lived this.
Yeah, because like I had like a better, because everyone would just go based off like figure A, figure B in our textbook, and I'm like, I remember I killed a guy there. I split his
episode, it's like sequence 5, mission 6. I got this.
Yeah, I mean,
God, I had a grind to get that fucking
and
mission.
that's why I love these games, right? And I always what I bring up, my reference point is the Notre Dame fire. When I saw the pictures of it, I'm like, I'm way too familiar with everything I'm seeing here. Like this is weird. Right? I'm like, oh yeah, I've been here in Unity. Like the amount of quality or detail that they capture is insane.
I feel like a lot of people take that
for granted.
Not for granted, but like they don't give the Assassin's Creed enough credit. Like the developers spent a lot of fucking time, and like I don't know if you guys have seen it, but same thing with Modern Warfare, the latest Modern Warfare game. The latest game, there's this Korean. It's kind of like those what are they called? Like Buzzsprout videos, kind of like similar to them, where they have like some random person.
BuzzFeed.
They have them. BuzzFeed. Where Buzzsprout.
You can also find us on Buzzsprout.
Where they have them like go through and experience something, but they got this Korean-based army vet or army soldier. He served like 2 terms or whatever. I don't know what the terminology is for that, but they had him play a certain mission in Modern Warfare. And he's just like, see, right now, ideally, there should always be a person that's covering this section, because that would never happen. You would never not have someone cover. And then you'd look and you just see it like one of the characters come in really close, slowly, like the AI from like that door, and he's like, okay, I guess they are covering there. And he's like, oh wait, but they wouldn't. And he's like, but they wouldn't be on that. okay, they're there as well. And then like he'd walk around and like he'd see like a little reflecting patch on a dude's arm. He's like, wait, what? They have that? No, that's a thing. We have the reflective things for night vision, so that way you know who your teammates are. So if you don't see
That's
that
how
patch,
they know.
you shoot it.
Oh.
But he just like would look at the camera every once in a while. He's like, I feel like this is borderline just spilling a lot of like
A lot of information.
a lot of information. He's like, I don't want to
Mhm.
get like there were some things he talked about, which is funny because then he would go on and explain how some of the shit works. So everyone in the comments like, I mean, we didn't really know how it worked until you explained it, but thanks.
Yeah.
But
It's like, yeah, we were curious, but you know, you
but
can only learn so many
basic-
things on the internet.
yeah, but like basically for like games like this and like Assassin's Creed, developers are putting in a lot of work to like get a lot of like the tiny details, like as much as they can, like really accurate. So for people that like notice that and pay attention to that stuff, it's really fucking cool. And it is so awesome being able to cite a fucking video game in like a class project or like something like that and be right.
It's
Yeah.
fucking
I
ridiculous.
don't
Yeah.
I think some of the people for Assassin's Creed, if I remember correctly, when doing the research for one of the games, they actually were able to publish a few papers based on that because they
I feel like it might have been with the Origins.
yeah, it might have been Origins, but I remember there was a game where they managed to publish papers, and like the same thing goes for other media. When Interstellar came out, what was it like they managed
Oh
the
yeah, they
physicist, the
meant
astrophysicist?
yeah.
Thorne?
New shit about black
Yeah,
holes
they
or
managed
something.
to. Yeah, they like published like 2 or 3 papers from that. So, I mean, it's just fun. It's nice being able to see that and go like, it's no longer just like fan fiction. It's a lot of like credible research done and put into these
Yeah.
games.
Yes,
Yes,
Daniel.
Daniel?
I was just recently telling Alma because I finally got to the mission that took me to Giza. So I had to climb inside and on top of the pyramids.
Mhm.
And I was telling Alma like the really cool like the people in Assassin's Creed do a ridiculous amount of research to get it's meticulous. The
It
fucking
is.
every detail that they do is just so on point, and they put so much time in it. She's like, yeah, it's a really beautiful game, and I'm like, it's not just that. There was a point where after the game had come out, they have a mission where you go inside of a pyramid,
Oh,
which
yeah.
of course is a tomb, and
This is the one I'm talking about.
there are secret rooms in the pyramid that have been theorized, but we've never really found them. And then after the game came out, they found these rooms inside the pyramids. Like, of course,
Yeah.
not in the actual places, but like
Right.
they found them using like sonic, like they sent in a drone and they sonically mapped the pyramid, and they found these secret rooms, and it's fucking wild.
And it was that's what I'm talking about. Like they put in a lot of fucking work, and like it's what makes me happy to know that like they also have their education based version of the games,
Mhm.
where it's you literally just walk around, you pick a character, you can learn about that character and like a lot of information about them, and you
Mhm.
can walk around the map, you can explore fun points of interest to actually like learn about that game. Like same
Mhm.
thing in Odyssey. Like there's
Excuse
you
me.
could dude. I was just walking. It's no big area whatsoever. I just randomly walked around an area, and there's this fucking crack in the ground, and I look over, and then like I see the little tip pop up, and it's just like a story is told that so and so once fell down into Hades, and it took his carriage with him, and it was just there, and I was just like, huh,
Huh.
okay.
All right.
And they're like, and it was like near his home of whatever the fuck. And I looked at the map, and yeah, sure enough, like that's where I was, and I'm like, huh, okay, that's
Fucking
pretty
wild,
cool.
man.
Like,
That is
but
really
yeah,
cool.
no,
It-
it's fun seeing how much like meticulous like details they put, and I
Yeah.
prefer it to like I mean like the games had their own version the past games, like it was just a little bit more it wasn't as interactive. I mean, that's for sure. I mean, it was very much you had to,
I
like,
don't think they really introduced like collectibles that did a world uh building, or what's the environmental storytelling and stuff, like that, until
Yeah.
Black Flag. 'Cause
Yeah.
now I'm getting a lot of collectibles, a lot of things.
I know, like for sure, Unity was filled with a bunch of them.
Oh
Like, you
yeah,
could read up on
because
a
the
bunch.
fucking French Revolution.
Yeah.
There's just so much shit to go over, like, and it was,
Yeah.
it was
What
really awesome.
there isn't during the American Revolution, or
Yeah.
during the Renaissance, or the fucking Crusades. It's just you didn't introduce it until these games.
Yeah, I was saying it was a really good place to fucking like start putting that, like Assassin's Creed 3. Yeah,
Black Flag.
Black Flag.
It started with Black Flag, so I'm telling you now.
Yeah, but like Black Flag's walking, Unity's running. You feel me?
I mean, I mean,
You know
yeah,
what?
because it's the first,
Yeah, I
it's the
know.
first next gen. So there's that at the very.
What? No, I would say
What?
Black Flag is walking, Origins is running. Once
Yeah,
they made it,
there we go.
once they made it that you
I
can
don't remember,
interact
yeah.
with the actual fucking
Okay.
world and
That's fair.
characters.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I don't.
That's
I don't
fucking
remember
sprinting.
Unity too
Usain
well.
Bolt.
I don't know how much more. Because they have a little bit more. I know they had like
Syndicate probably didn't get shit.
No,
they
they
had a
did.
lot of
Like,
collectibles.
did they? Because I don't remember. I don't remember anything from Syndicate.
I didn't. Syndicate's the only one I haven't finished. Like I have to finish it. It's just
You're so close.
yeah, it
think.
was.
I
But then
remember you
Origins
spending
and
a lot of time
Odyssey
on
came
that.
out. Or
A
Origins and
year
Odyssey came out.
later, and then a year after that. Actually, no, there was a
Yeah.
break. I think there was
There
a
was a
break
2 year.
between each of those games.
2 year.
Okay.
And then
Let's
there was
not-
a
let's-
1 year.
Let's not all
Yes,
forget
feed
that
my
we all.
fire, John. Please, thank you.
Let's not
Huh?
all forget that we finished the Assassin's Creed movie as well, so we can put that under our belt.
I'm ever doing that again.
So you don't want to do
That's
it for
not
couch watchers?
that's not part of. I'll do Embers, but the Michael Fassbender movie is not under my journey here for Assassin's Creed. It's not happening.
Cool.
Well, hold on, maybe actually, because I did fall asleep during like a quarter of the movie, so
That's fantastic.
maybe that quarter makes it the whole thing redeemable.
I can't promise anything, Joel.
Yeah, I'm pretty
But-
sure it doesn't. That
But
movie
it's
sucks.
Yeah.
it's really cool to just be able to have a game that for over a decade now, right, has been putting so much attention into this world to make it real.
Mhm.
And
Yes,
sorry,
man.
just a second. Go on without me. I have a call.
okay.
It's also interesting to know that
Hello?
Watch Dogs is in this universe.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, how that ties into Abstergo, and just how Abstergo's now has pretty much complete, and the Templars have like complete control over the world. I mean, from so far, I don't know what the modern day stuff is in the latest games.
Mhm.
But just knowing playing Watch Dogs, I got addicted to that Watch Dogs 2 before I started playing Assassin's Creed.
_dogs.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And just knowing like these hackers are out there, fighting Abstergo or not Abstergo, but whatever the fucking name of the company is that I can't remember right now.
I don't know. Let's just call it Abstergo.
CTOS. They do CTOS,
CTOS.
whatever.
CTOS. That's
the
what it
name.
is.
That's the name of the operating system. But that's not the name of the fucking company. I don't think.
Well, let's just stick with Abstergo.
I mean, overall, I feel like it's Abstergo, right?
I totally forgot that Watch _dogs was connected to Assassin's Creed. Because it like
Bloom.
you're looking around.
Bloom, yeah, that's it.
Why does Bloom sound like a studio? That's Boom.
It is. Is it?
Never mind.
It is.
Oh, you're thinking of Blue.
I'm thinking of Boom Studios.
Oh yeah. I feel like
Um,
Bloom is something though, but whatever.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, no. Especially being where I am, having beaten Odyssey and knowing a lot more of the modern day and the Isu shit. It's really fun knowing, like when you make the comment, oh, Abstergo's this pretty much has complete control right now, and it's just like, yeah, they do. It's just fun. It's just fun, man.
I'm
Dude,
like halfway through the fucking series. So I expect it to change.
dude,
I've
Origins.
played 5. I'm 5 games in. now, and there are 5 games left.
Origins and Odyssey brought back um, a lot of the whole Isu first civilization and modern day, and
See,
it's
Isu, when the fuck was that?
Yeah,
When were they giving a name?
I
The
remember you.
precursors, the ones that came before the first civilization. Isu, who the fuck are they?
they are that's the technical name of the first civ.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
I can figure that out from context.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Now,
sorry,
spoiler.
But,
Yeah, I
like,
remember you telling me that, but I haven't
you ruined
encountered it
everything
yet.
now. You ruined everything. I don't
what
want to play
was
this
that,
game.
Daniel?
I said I remember you telling me that, but I haven't encountered it yet.
Okay.
Yeah, and Juno's still out there. Juno's out
Yeah.
there.
What the fuck?
Mm. Yeah, so
What the
like,
fuck?
but my main thing is it's fun because they brought it back, but they do it in a way that makes it they have an idea. You know, they seem like they have an idea of what they want to tell with these why they're bringing back the modern day stuff, and I like it. It's nice because it's better than hey, we kind of wrote ourselves into a corner. Now we need to kind of make this a little like its own storyline kind of thing. How are we going to do this? Uh, the nice thing about Origins and Odyssey, more so, a little bit more so in Odyssey, but that's because like Origins kind of brings it back, and then Odyssey goes more in depth. Um, it you can tell they have a much better idea and like goal for what they're trying to like say and tell with those stories, which is really fun. And like how they connect it because I would say it's a little bit more like revelations, uh, in the sense that a lot of what happens in the games affects what happens in the modern day, and like it's a little bit more of a like twisted connection, and a lot less. Hey, play this game from like years back just so we can find one fucking item. Thanks, guys. Because that was like what? Wasn't that like one or two? Where they literally just had you play as Arno or someone just so that way they could figure out where the fucking apple was.
Pretty much that was all of the first stuff. That was pretty much all
Yeah.
of everything.
Yeah,
That was
that's like all of it one.
the
Yeah.
first all of one. Yeah, they needed to figure out where the apple was. So that's why they did it to Desmond for Altair. Then the same thing with Ezio. But now it's the assassins trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Because they escaped Sergo. And in Revelations, he's in a coma because he
Yeah.
had just
Subject
because
16.
because because at the end of Brotherhood, they go to the Colosseum where they find the Apple of Eden that Ezio hid. And he grabs it. He gets a vision or whatever. He starts talking to Minerva or Juno, one of them. I think it was Juno. She makes him kill Lucy. He passes out. All of Revelations is inside of his head, inside of the anime.
Yeah.
That's fucking
But
weird.
like that's what I mean. Like those games were essentially, hey, play as this one character so we can find an item. That's kind of what it seemed like it revolved around. Whereas a lot more of it's more, hey, play as this person because whatever the fuck happened then is affecting whatever the fuck's happening now. So it blends both of the worlds a little bit better in the sense that it doesn't feel like you're just on a scavenger hunt the entire fucking time, which I like. It feels a lot nicer.
Yeah.
But
I didn't necessarily have a problem with it. It was just for one, like you don't even a lot of the modern day stuff in the first games aren't. It isn't forced upon you,
yeah,
so it's never built up too well. I don't think. And then it just ends with the main guy like dying, and then the bad person winning. I guess
That's what upset me the
it was
most
just
about
weird.
the Assassin's Creed series, because after that it was just like loose stuff referencing the modern day stuff, and they're very much like, all right, people want the assassin stuff, like we're gonna give them the assassin stuff. No one likes the modern day stuff. That's why we killed Desmond, apparently. I don't know, but yeah, there's nothing
the answer
in the modern
wasn't.
day.
Yeah.
So it upset me, and I really like the modern day side of the whole game series, and I really did like Desmond and what he had to go through, because it was interesting. It was interesting.
I
It was a new idea of like, all right, so we're gonna send you back into the past to a machine that reads your genetics, and you get to play as this assassin. But side effect, you kind of learn how to be an assassin because of this thing called the bleeding effect. Also, you're the chosen one. So I don't
I
know.
think
I really enjoyed the storyline.
I I remember liking it more the first time, Ryan. I just didn't really care for it this time. I didn't really care for Desmond much either. There was potential there. I think the answer was to make it good, not to kill him off. It was probably easier to kill him off
Uh,
than to be stuck with him. Um, I wonder if how much. I wonder if I don't remember the development for Watch Dogs, but I wonder if it came from trying to make modern day Assassin's Creed good. Uh, because that if modern day Assassin's Creed was that, then we
Mhm.
get some awesome stuff. Granted, it's better off as its own game anyway,
mm-hmm.
but that'd been
Right.
cool.
Yeah.
That would have made the modern day stuff worth playing. If we'd have got more assassin stuff from modern day uh, sections of with Desmond, that would have been cool.
Yeah, no,
I think
I
like
would have really loved to have seen that.
I think
But
that's why I like how Origins and Odyssey are kind of doing it, or how they did it, is because it felt a lot more like like when I say like everything's like kind of like starts to merge into each other. It's like you become interested in the modern day because of what happens during the game from the past. You know, like it makes you want to know what's going to happen, as opposed to like the original games where it's just like you're kind of just interested in the modern day because you're kind of just forced to, because you kind of just need to deal with it in order to do the past things, is kind of how it seemed like it felt to me. Whereas this one is more like it more organically makes you interested in both stories.
Well, I mean,
well,
the thing
see,
is
that's
the thing. I mean, they do that by
thank you.
having the conflict be assassins versus Templars, and you're fighting them
Right.
on both through both timelines, right? It's just that we don't do anything in the modern day stuff. And if it was just more like in 3, there's a section where you like climb a fucking a skyscraper and then you jump off of it and parachute onto another skyscraper. More stuff like that would have been cool. Just stuff that felt like these were modern day assassins, maybe
Not waking up out of the Animus 2.0 in a warehouse and having to see
a
what skills you
warehouse,
got.
cave, whatever, just from one animus to another.
I gotta say, Animus 2.0 still my favorite design. It's just a gaming chair.
It's pretty cool.
That's all
Yeah,
it is.
if the modern day stuff, like if they didn't completely cripple the assassins and the assassins were instead, being assassins being undercover, and maybe they infiltrated Abstergo, and we were doing like some cool like corporate espionage or something, stuff like that, trying to figure out what they know, trying to get
Yeah,
their
because
artifacts, just
because
something, just any
like
literally anything. Like the first game had the worst because all it was were just boring sections where you had to do nothing but stand while these NPCs talked at you, and then you went to your room, slept, then you went back to the Animus, and then you waited so you could go into the Animus.
I
And then
remember
Right.
every time it was
the
that same
achievement
thing.
for talking to Lucy and getting all the dialogue.
Yeah.
Oh God, it was frustrating. It's very frustrating.
Right. I was gonna say, speaking of like you talk to people, go back to sleep just so you can talk to them again. That reminds me, didn't they say like Valhalla is gonna be kind of similar in terms of like the Normandy? Like it's gonna have um like your what is it? Like I guess because you essentially are building like a little not commune village or whatever
Village.
that's like, of your people, and they said
Mhm.
they kind of want to treat the village kind of like the Normandy from Mass Effect, where you do the main game and then you come back and you can interact with a lot of those people, like your central hub, but like for the NPCs and all that, which I think is cool. I'm
I'm down with
wondering though
that.
how
That
I
reminds me
I
of
always loved I always loved the Citadel and Normandy stuff, dealing with my own characters that I like. You get fond of like playing with, and
Yeah, I mean
clearly,
that's part of the game. You play throughout the game with these characters. You know, you build your crew. You choose who you take on missions.
Mhm.
You build your relationships.
I mean, you only
part of the
need
game,
like
it's
two
fun.
people.
That makes
but,
me
like,
think
so
of making your compound in 3
Grunt and Garrus.
in AC3. Sorry. So we're getting a
But
little
yeah.
long in the tooth here for Assassin's Creed for the 3rd episode.
Yeah.
So I was bringing up earlier how it's before I had to take that call. That it's really nice to see that there's a game series that for so long has been taking such great care to be so detailed and just astronomically good at being as close to the real world as possible to get their message across.
I think on behalf of Turn 10 Studios, I take offense. Okay.
Because of the car?
Because they take great care to make sure that every car in there is as accurate as possible, making sure that their racetracks have every hole, every bump, every blade of grass, all right, that the real ones do.
Who's Turn 10
All right.
Studios?
They make Forza.
Forza.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I'm not saying like they're the only one. I'm just saying it's nice to see stuff like that, and I understand your passion for Forza. Right? I'm not gonna trash your rides in here.
Like I was
Right,
saying
it's
with
a
Modern
fun
Warfare.
game.
That's playground games. Like about Turn 10,
Forza
Okay.
Horizon Playground does the other one.
the base game, the normal one.
Yeah.
They go
Wait, so
through
which
every,
one are
like,
we talking
actual-
about?
The regular one, because the regular
Forza. Okay.
Forza Motorsport.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Because they go to each like actual track, because it's a simulation game, it's a racing sim, so they make sure
Yes.
everything's as accurate as possible. I was just giving you
Okay.
shit because
Yeah, I
I don't
know.
know. I like it's fun. What do you want from me?
You like giving me shit? Is that what it is?
I'll give everybody shit. That's not
Anyway, so
true.
what
If I'm
I,
comfortable with you.
what I was
just
leaning
know it's
towards is
playful.
that it's fun to see games like Assassin's Creed and yes, like Forza Motorsports and others that I'm
Forza.
sure exist.
Thank you.
I said Forza.
Oh yeah, you know you're Johnny. You're saying Forza. It's Forza. Okay, it's like pizza.
I know, that's why.
but not really because there's only one Z in Forza.
Pizza.
Forza.
Pizza.
Is it
Huzzah.
French?
Anyway,
go on.
Pizza.
it's nice to see games like this that put so much attention to detail to make their games look just pristine and as close to actual real life as possible. Very recently, I'm not going to try to date it because I don't know when this, well, I have an idea when this episode's coming out. But very recently, we got the reveal of the Unreal Engine 5. That was...
I just said
I was
John.
waiting.
It looked very intently. I'm like, what the fuck?
I was just waiting for someone.
No, I saw you. I was talking, so trying to be professional here. It was a very recent unveiling of Unreal Engine 5, and we got to see a little bit of I mean, what would you call it, Joel? Like a gameplay demo of sorts, or
It's a tech demo. It's a playable tech demo.
Playable tech demo. That was associated with the PS5, as far as I know.
I don't
right?
know why they did that.
Yeah,
I don't think it
no,
was
I mean,
necessary.
I think it was a flex on Sony's part somehow.
Yeah.
It might have been paid, but it there's a lot of talk about, like Tim Sweeney said, CEO of Epic, said that it's possible because of this wouldn't be possible without the technology PlayStation has with the SSD and how it's like way faster than everything out on the market at the moment. He did say that everything, like it will be, all the features that they showed are going to be available for all consoles or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, and like,
but he was skirting around whether what the performance was going to be versus
same.
like the Series X.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, and also it's worth saying that as beautiful as this engine made the tech demo seem, because it was astounding. That shit, I was doing my morning routine. I was sitting and I was watching this video and I was like, holy fuck, this looks great. But it's also worth mentioning that we can't expect every game to be looking that good.
Yeah, I mean, you have to remember, fucking Fortnite uses the Unreal Engine.
Yeah, and apparently,
So does
apparently it's getting
Gears.
re-released on
Oh yeah,
when the engine comes out. and it's
But
available
the
for next
idea
gen.
is it's all about like how the developers want to utilize that engine and how they want to make their game look. Just because it
Yeah.
looks
Yeah.
like super high resolution doesn't mean the game is necessarily going to look like that. I don't
Yeah,
want realistic skin texture on my Fortnite character. Maybe on the gun,
Even
That's gonna
but
look creepy.
it breaks the world that the game is in.
a large,
Yeah,
yeah.
no.
It all depends on the art style and everything they're going for.
Mhm.
Like with the Gears 5, the PC version or the Xbox Series X version doesn't have. Although everything can do the ray tracing and global illumination. They don't have all the features enabled because it completely changes the art style that they were going
Mhm.
for, the tone that they wanted to set, because they weren't working with ray
Yeah.
tracing and global illumination in mind. So by enabling that, it completely changes the look of what they wanted.
Yeah.
So it's great to have
Dark
these
areas.
features, but it doesn't
Yeah.
mean that all games. You're right. All games are going to look like this because it's just
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, and
Not every
and
game needs it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's it is all going to come down to how the developer wants to use this technology in their game, because like you were saying with Gears, that they weren't working with ray tracing in mind or anything, so you're going to have to go straight into a project with this like capability in mind. Like like, yeah, you can use it for specific things, but if it's going to clash with your overall vision and what if it's an existing franchise already, if it clashes too much with that, then it's really going to throw shit off and probably
Yeah.
turn off your fan base. But aside from that, it's also not going to be really available until what, like 2022, right?
No.
What?
Or like
No.
21, like 21,
What do you
22?
mean? I'll give it,
And
2021, because the consoles are going to be coming out to the end of this year. So yeah, you're right on
Yeah.
that one.
But God, I thought I heard them talking about something that is whatever. But also what's really cool about that is they're working on like that engine has a capability of yes.
Sorry, I just wanted to say one thing on the past thing we were talking about
Mm-hmm.
before you get into it. I just wanted to say, like, not every game, like, going back to what we were saying real quickly, not every game needs to be updated for whatever the latest tech is. I just wanted to throw a good example being the original Dark Souls game. When they ported that over to the newer consoles and I think PC, a lot of the game broke because the game was originally scripted for 30 FPS, but a lot of people wanted to play it on the higher frame rates. And when they did, it introduced a lot of bugs. Like people would
Mm-hmm.
go through the world because the game wasn't scripted for 60. So when it would like interpret the new frames, your character would just like walk right through a fucking wall or fall through a wall or different things like that. It's just like some games are scripted for the tech at the time, and yeah. Just because like later on we have nicer tech doesn't mean like the games need to. It should definitely stick to however like the developers wanted it, because sometimes when you introduce all the other shit, it breaks the immersion of what the game
Mhm.
originally had. I just wanted to throw that in because Andrew and I were talking about that because we were talking about the Unreal Engine demo as well the other day.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point. Yeah, this thing's definitely gonna. I mean, because the Unreal Engine, like I remember, I have that downloaded on my old laptop because for some godforsaken reason I thought I could do something with it. With my shitty laptop, my shitty Toshiba that didn't even have a webcam, but it had a 10 key, so it had a 10 key.
Mm-hmm.
That was useful.
Fuck 10 keys.
But I remember Unreal just, changing things so much just over the course of our teenage years and stuff. And I remember people redoing portions of Ocarina of Time in Unreal Engine 4 and shit, and that shit looking amazing. But like also it does take away from the art style of that original game, and even if it does get updated like it did for the 3DS, like it's gonna hold a certain style, and the style that it gave for the Unreal Engine remake, it looked great, it was fascinating, it was,
Yeah,
but it
I
also
think
broke what Zelda was at the time, and so it just felt like a totally different kind of game than anything.
I wasn't as blown away by the demo as everyone else was. It looks great.
Hmm.
Don't get me
The
wrong.
PlayStation one?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Unreal.
Unreal.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah,
it
right.
was
Yeah.
running on PlayStation. Yes,
What,
but
Joey?
You're
What,
sorry.
Joey? It wasn't unreal enough for you?
um,
I have
it
some
didn't blow me
issues.
away. It didn't blow me. I mean, I don't remember if it was not a pre-rendered, if it was in engine or not. But the Senua's sacrifice or whatever the sequel's gonna be, that trailer, that teaser, that blew me the fuck away, like more than this demo did. Granted, it's different because it wasn't playable, and it could have definitely been like a pre-rendered cutscene or whatever the fuck,
Yeah.
or trailer. But that the amount of realism on that was crazy. Like that face looked scary real. The eyes, the teeth looked really real, and it was freaky. And that blew me away. That felt next gen. This feels next gen too, but at the same time, I'm not basing next gen on graphics.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
nobody
just
should. Nobody should at this point.
no, it's dumb. Just looking at like Ghost of Tsushima and how beautiful that looks, but not because it's like super realistic. It's the art style.
Yeah.
It all depends on how every developer chooses to present their world, and it's great. It's the demo and Unreal 5 is going to be great for developers. It's going to make certain things easier and make it more accessible.
Mhm.
This fidelity more accessible to more people. But it's not the end all be all. Also, this is one engine out of many,
Yeah,
including
I mean,
in-house engines.
yeah, I was
So
gonna say many studios create their own engines to get shit done, and it just works for them.
and even like I'm thinking to the last week there was the Xbox or not the showcase of third party
whatever.
Yeah, whatever
the
fuck
third
it's called.
party studios working on next gen games on Series X games, right? And it was, all of them were optimized for Series X, and people were like, were upset that it didn't look like the Unreal 5 demo did, but I thought they all looked great.
No,
I thought
did.
they all looked really good. Not and mostly because like most of those studios aren't Ubisoft, aren't your big names. They're third party, but they're not your big name studios, and these are not AAA games as we know them at the very least. And they still have this level of fidelity. I think that speaks more to next gen as far as like the power of these consoles, and we're going to be able to see that these smaller studios, one person, not Res Infinite, but the first one that was shown was made by one person, and it looks amazing. It looks really good.
That wasn't
That's what people were
the
missing.
alien looking one, right?
No, it was like
because that one looks
it was
sick.
It was like there was a storm going on. There was a shooting. Yeah,
right, I know what you're talking. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
To be fair, Scorn is already a game.
Yeah,
it's just
Scorn
getting more or less
right up my alley. Oh my god, it is perfect.
Scorn is just a re-release, more or less, isn't it?
Yeah,
re-release.
Oh well,
yeah, isn't it?
It was already in development. Has it already been on PC? I mean, I don't know. I know they've been in development for a while now. The last time they released anything was 2 years ago.
I know it's been. Yeah, I was gonna say
someone played
3 years.
Someone played it. I think it was like PewDiePie. They got like the beta or alpha or whatever. Yeah, but they played it. I'm pretty sure. I've seen it been played. But yeah, no, they had the guy that made what do you call it? Aliens. Help out with that game.
H.G. Geiger, I think is the name of the guy.
I got such strong alien vibes from it.
Is he still alive?
Like, I'm with this.
Or not that, but like they're heavily using his.
Yeah,
like,
no,
style.
definitely, they definitely are. Yeah,
I thought this was a fucking alien game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's what I think people were missing from the showcase.
Next gen being smaller people can do bigger things.
It's a lot easier to do great things.
Yeah, it's powerful, but it's powerful, but it's putting the power in. It's more about putting the power into people's hands as much as they can. Yeah, because it's if you want to max out, like I keep hearing this, if you want to max out every fucking setting on something, then you're gonna have to go to PC, because these developers aren't making these games for absolute crazy max settings. They're making a game so that their vision is like usable and accessible to people. And with things like next gen and the coming Unreal Engine 5, it's gonna put that power in more people's hands. And next gen, it's gonna slowly change, but it's gonna change, and people just need to chill the fuck out and pump the brakes. Um, because right now, yeah, something's gonna look like current gen on next gen, but it's also, like you were saying, gonna be in a smaller studio's hands, or uh, other aspects of that game are going to be so much faster, so much easier to do for these developers, and for like load times and shit for you on the consumer
Yeah.
side. Like
I also think a
those
lot
are
of
the things
people.
that matter.
I think a lot of people also need to understand the law of diminishing return and Moore's
Yeah,
law. like, there's only so much you can improve on once something hits a certain level. I
yeah.
think
No, everything has a
I forget
ceiling.
who. I think I forget who I was watching, but someone was saying like everyone will notice the difference from bad to good, and from good to pretty good, but no one's gonna really notice much of a difference from pretty good to great. Like it's a much lesser gap to fill, and at that point, you're pixel peeping essentially. At that
Yeah,
point,
no,
like
and people are just gonna be nitpicking at shit, and like that's a good way to put it. Like it's hard for people to notice achievement when you're already at the top of the achievement list. You know, like
yeah. Also, current gen is still pretty fucking good. I gotta
current
like
gen's
Current gen's still
ridiculous.
pretty fucking good. I think, and
Yeah,
that's what, like, to me, next gen is more on the systems level than it
yeah,
hmm
is like graphics.
yeah,
like because the
What
one
interested
X
me,
is
what interested me from the Unreal demo was when he said that the bats could like talk to each other or whatever. I'm like, what the fuck? So it's just like these. I guess they have AI. They can like respond
mm,
to each other in a more natural way. And that's, to me, that's what next gen is, having more immersive systems that behave naturally versus these
right.
really weird things. It's also going to help with like NPCs and stuff, because there's just so many. There's just so many reused assets in Assassin's Creed. Like I saw the same. There's like maybe 4 different types of civilians in any of those games, just with different clothing.
Yeah,
It's just so fucking weird.
I was
yeah.
Just
gonna
having that variety is gonna be nice too.
sorry, I was gonna mention earlier. I remember it being said that the Unreal Engine is gonna help with how sound operates too.
That demo was a
Um,
shitty audio experience. I'm sorry.
What the
yeah, I
Unreal
mean,
one?
Yeah, like audio wise, it was so bad.
I don't know. I saw it through a stream, and
yeah,
I don't know if I can get
same,
an accurate
No, I
same.
mean
capture
like
of.
no, I mean I just saw it on the IGN thing, but what I mean like yeah, I'm hoping yes, I'm hoping you're right. The audio experience is better, but like a lot of it didn't sound particularly amazing from what I heard. Like I would see like a rock crash like on the right side, and it would sound like I heard it behind me, even though it happened clearly in front of like the character. Or the
Well,
character would sound 80 feet
that
away as she's sliding through the rocks, but the camera is like 2 inches away from her head. I'm like,
I mean,
why
I
does it
feel
sound
like
like this
that may
character is so
also
Also,
far
have
away?
to
It
do with your audio setup at home.
it was weird
has nothing to
that
do with it.
in the demo she like went through a crevice.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah. People are like,
It's
"Aren't we supposed to get rid of those?" Like,
no, yeah. As soon as that happened, I'm like, what? This is supposed to. You're doing this on the PS5. The PS5 has been talked about because the SSD, how fast it is, and how we don't have to
You don't need
hide
those load
things
times.
behind. We don't need to hide load times. So why are you showing this the technique that is
Yeah.
done to
I
hide load
mean,
times?
okay. Before I knew that it was to hide load times, I thought aesthetically it was a really cool thing because it shows something else. I mean, and then it came to light that it was, you know, to hide load times, just like elevators or whatever, you know.
Mhm.
Just to
Um,
keep you in the game.
yeah, it's to keep you in the game without putting you in a fucking load screen. Like, God, how much I hated Ninja Gaiden 2. But I really like the crawling through crevices because it makes it feel like actual, like your momentum still carrying. But
yeah, I don't
yeah,
like. I'm not bothered by it. But when you're showing me a fucking tech demo for next gen stuff, when
see it in there,
the context of it,
that was a choice. That was
it
definitely
is a weird choice.
Yeah. Yeah, but and I don't know. There was a lot of things on the technical aspect from that demo that I was just like, I don't get why they're showing this off. Personally, a lot of the stuff that they're, oh, look at this global illumination. I'm like, ray tracing, more or less. That's, I don't know. A lot of the demo they showed was more or less what we already know, just different.
I think it's different levels of. I think ray tracing is with like everything.
Yeah, well, yeah, but it's
and
a type.
I think global illumination is just. It is a type. But I think global illumination is just like one step below full ray tracing.
Yeah. But I don't know. Basically, from everything they were explaining, a lot of it was just like, it kind of sounds, because they kept saying like these names, like, oh, we call it so and so, right? And I was just like, a lot of this is just something we already have in other games, but you're putting like a weird fancy name on yours, but we already know it as something else, and I don't really get why you're showing it off. I mean, it's cool that your engine can do that, but I'm pretty sure your engine was already originally able to do that for the most part. But
I think it makes it easier for developers to do it. It's more for developers than it is for us. For us, it's like, ooh, this is pretty, and that's why every generation, I've enjoyed watching the tech demos, the Unreal demos. I remember Citizen or
Civilization,
the Samaritan. That was one of the tech demos. There was another one. Can't remember the name of that one. That one was set in like a robot factory or something. I don't know, but they're all really cool.
Oh, yeah. I know which one you're talking about. I thought that was Frostbite.
I don't think so, but I'm not
Frostbite.
gonna. I don't remember. Frostbite looks great. I can't remember. I can't wait to see.
Frostbite looked great.
Apparently, a bitch to develop for. Not my problem. I didn't fucking make the thing. When it looks amazing though. Looks amazing.
I don't know, Joel. You might be developing a game soon. In your short life.
Yeah, you know me working hard on learning how to code things.
Hey man, Code Academy is free right now.
Is it free?
It is.
Yeah, I made it free.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, dope.
I still get emails even though I signed up for Code Academy sophomore year of high school.
Yeah, same here. But yeah,
that was 8 years ago.
Yeah, we've been living in about 3 months. We'll have lived up here for 6 months, for 6 years.
6 years.
6 full years.
6 full years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not that I don't love talking about tech with you guys, but we should push on because Zencaster says we're at 122. I don't know how much of that is actual content or not.
Did you catch that, John?
No, I didn't hear any of that.
He fucked out there, right?
Yeah, he got
fucked out.
Can you hear? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. We just heard.
Okay.
We heard because Zencaster.
like I say, it sounds like you just picked up the telephone in the Matrix and you got sucked in.
Zencaster says we're at 122 right now, so we should probably push on. And I don't know how much that is actual content. So, but anyhow, since we're on the topic of, I mean, I thought it was gonna go a different direction, but you guys apparently have opinions.
I always have opinions.
I was gonna say, and it's something I've been wanting to talk about for like the last 2 episodes, but since this came out, it really kind of reignited the interest in the question. And since Joel's here, we can have a good old fashioned TopCup bullshit talk about this. Yes, John.
No. Yes, John. I know where you're talking, or where you're trying to get at, but I'll just go ahead. Finish.
Okay.
So, you done? You fucking done?
I'll just mute.
Daniel, just go.
I'm wondering what the fuck's going on in his head right now.
I don't know. Who cares?
Whatever. Do you guys think video games should ever look like real life? Like, do you think we should cross that Uncanny Valley?
And then
Yeah.
that goes back to what I was gonna say. Was I kind of think we, in a way, kind of covered this.
We did. It depends on the art style that the developers
Yeah.
want, right? If it works for it, then it
Well,
works. Should
well,
everything?
yeah,
Should we
but
get a
no,
real life fucking Nintendo backed Pokemon game? Maybe not. Maybe that would be very fucking freaky.
yeah,
There's
Yeah,
a
and
reason
you
why
even
they still
said-
look cartoonish in the movie. Let's not do that.
but
Yeah, and
no,
like you said,
no,
like,
no.
you
You're
thought,
very.
like,
You
the
guys are putting
Unreal.
this in a very broad scope. I'm not saying every video game in existence like that again
Right.
is up to the developer, but I'm saying like if somebody comes out with a game that like it looks like somebody explaining the game and then they're like this is in-game footage and you're just like what the fuck? Like
I mean, to be
why would you
fair,
do
like,
this?
I mean, I think again, it goes on to like a lot of, because there are a lot of sub levels to that. You know, it's like, do you want it to look like reality, real life? Do you want it to feel real life? Like, like what do you want? Because I'll be honest, when I saw originally the first Modern Warfare trailer, a lot of that I legitimately thought, and you can look online when the
Yeah.
first Modern Warfare trailers came out, a lot of people thought it was real fucking footage of
Yeah,
those
no.
guys pushing that door, and like we're getting to that level. I mean, like obviously later on in the game that breaks away, and you can obviously tell it's a game in more instances. But there are definitely scenes where you're just like, this looks beautiful. And but like,
Yeah, no. I definitely
um,
understand what you're saying. And it's something that I think about weirdly like on a regular basis, which is like you know, like it's like thinking about CG and just video games in general too. But like looking at
greatest
these
CG.
things when we're looking at these things when they first come out and you know like you were saying earlier, John, it's like you can tell when something goes from bad to good to pretty good to amazing. And like seeing that progression of like something that looks like the first Tron movie, if you haven't seen it, it's pretty trash. To Tron Legacy. And it's like that's insane, but to people in the 80s when Tron came out, that was fucking magnificent, you know?
Right.
When the first Jurassic Park came out, and a lot of shit from Jurassic Park holds up, don't get me wrong. When the first Jurassic Park came out, that CG, aside from the practical effects, was strong, like very, very strong, and it still holds up, but it's not as strong as shit we see from like Avengers.
Right. But
So yeah, of
I don't
course,
know.
there's going to be that progression that's always going to be there, but like once it gets to the part where it's like disturbing, like do you think people should like stop? Like should
No.
we is there a
No.
ceiling that we should put on ourselves for computer graphics?
Why?
No. And like,
Is
okay,
there
also,
why? Because why? Is it because like you're not complaining about how? Are you talking? Because like it looked like he was talking on
I know.
on the video feed.
I know.
I don't want to cut him off.
I still,
How do you complain when your movies look real?
No, but movies a whole cinematic experience too, and that is a whole other conversation of where like how people want to make games and what they should be focused on. But like I'm not complaining about it. I'm just saying like the mediums are different, and you spend a lot more time with one than the other. You know, and
Depends on the game. Depends. Maybe not a
that's
movie,
fair.
but a show.
That's fair. But
You
I'm just
know?
saying like I mean I guess it opens it up to a broader scope than like
Well, because the question is why? Why would we stop? Are
don't
there
know.
ethical questions? I mean, why? Because this you don't know. You think about this regularly, apparently. So what are your musings so far? Like what? You've argued this in your head either way.
Well, no, because I
And
never saw this as an
again,
argument. I just yes, John.
also, again, I think it's key to specify there's a difference between it looking and feeling.
Feeling,
Because
yes, no, for sure.
I think we're at the point where it looks like reality, or at the very least, we're very close to it. Because I mean, like you said, or I was gonna say, the greatest CGI is the CGI you don't notice. Gemini Man, you could fucking tell me that young Will Smith looks like an actual person, and I'm gonna fucking believe you, even though a lot of that's CGI. It looks like that. The issue is when we animate it, or when we have an AI script running in the background and it breaks normal, human tendencies and interactions. So I don't think it's necessarily do we stop when it looks? We're already there, and I don't see any reason
Mhm.
why we should stop. I think really it's just more we need to start working on making it feel more lifelike, because that's the only
Mhm.
issue that we're at right now. Is like you can tell when something is poorly animated, and you can tell when something is scripted wrong, and like a character or AI or NPC, whatever, just it does
Yeah.
something that just like this is weird. Why are you
Right.
doing that?
Not
Like
be
I'm
happening.
thinking, like the cutscenes in Assassin's Creed, animations are so bad and cartoony up until 3 when they started to get kind of okay, kind of. They're much better. Um, and every time I was watching the cutscenes, I kept thinking to Naughty Dog properties and just how mostly like I feel like started with like Uncharted 3 and then like Last of Us and just how much time they spent animating the faces to have realistic expressions and like mannerisms, and that made it feel a lot realer than it was, than it is, obviously. Um, and they had video, the fidelity of uh the character models and everything like was great. Like it looked great. Still looks great, but it that wasn't what made it feel real to me. It was everything else. It was what made it seem like real life. Because
Yeah.
I mean, how is a blind person going to tell what real life is or not? You know what I'm saying? Because it's about everything else. So it's about everything else.
You know what I'm saying?
So it's about all the other aspects of reality that matter to realism.
That reminds me of a funny video I was watching the other day. It's
Mhm.
like a guy's like showing stuff, but then he's saying stuff, and they're completely polar opposites. But the showing is the shit talking blind, no, shit talking deaf people, but the talking is shit talking blind people.
Well, blind people can still hear. What the fuck? Like,
Exactly. So what they hear is for them, and it's shit talking the other one, but then the other side gets it. So so the people that are blind, they can't see what they're saying, what the guy is showing, which is saying, "Hey, fuck you, blind people," and they hear, "Hey, screw the deaf." But then when the people that are deaf are watching, but they can't hear, they just see the guy showing up, "Hey, screw the blind." It's just but in a very comedic setting. I just found it funny because he's just playing with
that's strange.
audio and visuals. And I was that's just what Joel kind of reminded me of when he said, "Would blind people would they
So
know?"
yeah, so clearly, I guess if there's a question of whether we should make it, how real we should make it, it would be with I guess AI having interactions. Because there's like with Red Dead, there's so many things that make it feel like it's your own personal thing that happened to you, but it happens to everything that you experience pretty much happens to every player.
Mhm.
Um, but having an AI that can create these things that happen naturally and sort of uniquely to you, that would make it real, right?
Or a person feels like
Um,
they get their own like event
Experience.
happen in the game or experience. Yeah, yeah, that
yeah,
would be. Yeah,
Could you relate that to the Nemesis system? Like, was that unique enough for players to have
I think it
more
was a
unique
stepping
there's
experiences?
yeah, it would yes, like, and that's why I always bring it up usually when I talk about systems that I want and what I think about next gen. I want things like that where it's sort of generated based off of your interactions with the system,
Mm-hmm.
and it creates for a lot more variety between experiences between players.
Yeah.
There is a limit to it. Like it's not if you in a large enough data sample, you're gonna get similarities. A lot of them sound the same. They do the best they can, but that's pretty much what I want.
that is
Mm-hmm.
that's what I would consider like that's really next gen. You know, when you can have something like that where it's very much less of, hey, this is a scripted event that will happen because the developers say so, and more of
Mm-hmm.
a, hey, they just developed the tools. You're going to experience it completely different. You know, it may not even be what the developers thought would even happen, and it just happened naturally and randomly. That but still fit in their world to the right like criteria and all that. That
Mm-hmm.
is what I would say is more the next gen, and not necessarily just it looks really
Graphics.
pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair.
But
Um.
yeah.
Well, that was a way to go about it, I guess.
I
Where
mean,
would you? Where were you going?
were my answers unsatisfactory?
No.
Daniel.
I asked for your opinion about it, and they were very strong. And
Well,
it
As
where
they
would you
usually
go?
are.
it started leaning towards an argument, and I'm just like, well, that's not what I asked. But
Where would you
but
go?
no,
Where would you go?
I mean, I say like it can have a lot of benefits. It can have a lot of downsides, like much like anything else we create. But you know, the uncanny valley is such a strange feeling, because this also relates to like things going on at work. Like prior to our close, like we have an exhibition called Uncanny Valley, and it's about AI and stuff, but that's more related to like what you're talking about. Mine was just like a visual sense, and it's like, well, you know, people are kind of getting there with, and it's a little terrifying with like deep fakes and stuff. Like computer graphics are just wildly out there and impressive, but also in the wrong hands, they can be very terrible. Um, but to make a video game that looks like real life, like the benefits of that, yeah, it looks great, it looks amazing. Um, it could also, you know, it could have various uses like immersion therapy and um, helping with um, like senior citizens being able to go uh, into a constructed thing made for them through VR, you know, in retirement homes and stuff. And people that are bedridden, like, I mean, obviously to a healthy amount, you'll be able to, you know, everything in moderation, of course, but you'll be able to um, see things and explore things the way you wouldn't have been able to. And then there's pushing the boundaries of a visual experience in things like AR and VR, and making things seem very real and immersing you into something like a fantasy world, or like a fucking diving game or something, you know? Like all these things can be very, very interesting. But, you know, downsides would also be we either have to progressively push the past that uncanny valley effect or just jump way past it. Like there is no in between, because that's just, if you make something that close to actual human um function, I feel like it's gonna just, it's trash. Like it's gonna be too disturbing to use. You feel me?
Yes.
I get where you're going. Like
I,
I get
I
where you're.
I get what you mean, but
Yeah.
I think it goes back to the whole art style thing. Like whatever it looks like, however uncanny it is, if you change the art style to complement it, it's acceptable.
Mm-hmm.
It becomes okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, before we close out, Joel, you wanted talk briefly about
We
how
talk a lot. How long has it been going on?
137. We can talk 15
130,
minutes.
15 minutes. Sure. I mostly, now that you know, it's been. I figured as much that next semester of SFSU was going to be held online, but now it's like they've officially confirmed it.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking lately about how we're gonna start opening up slowly, right? Boom, like curbside pickup, and there's a lot of businesses closing down. Considering this is mostly a commuter city, a lot of people come into city to work and to go to school. That's not happening anymore because you know places are closing down. A lot of techies, just their offices are closed. There's gonna be no one coming in for school this next semester. So how does that affect?
Damn.
I'm wondering how that affects the local
Twitter.
economy. Yeah, because that's just a lot of lost business.
Mhm.
Yeah,
A
and then,
lot
like,
of lost
Twitter
business.
also being the first like company to print or publicly and big company and be like, hey, you kind of don't need to come back if you don't want to.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, you
intense.
didn't hear about the Twitter thing?
Mm-mm.
Oh, yeah, no. Apparently, the CEO released a statement to a lot of Twitter employees just saying, hey, yeah, for a lot of you, we're going to continue this work from home indefinitely. You know, you don't have to come back to the office if you don't want to. So, I mean, they're still going to have people that are like, they're still going to have jobs that require people to be there, but they're like, you have a lot of stuff that doesn't need you to come in. If you don't want to come in, you don't have to. And maybe eventually they'll transition to a point where it is, hey, just your job does not require you to come in. So, I mean, that also puts in effect like business is closing down, like you were saying, and now if Twitter and other people follow suit, it's just like, hey, Twitter doesn't need a 5-story headquarter
Office
office
building.
anymore. If they don't have 1,000 employees, if they have 300 employees coming in, what happens there? That's a lot of empty space. That could affect living conditions, raise or drop the cost of rents, stuff like that. Business closing down, are they going to be reopening for other businesses? Or are they going to convert those into living spaces? A lot of things are up in the air right now.
Yeah.
And
it's just weird.
Yeah, and you got to consider all the businesses that aren't able to stay open past this. Like, of course, small businesses, like everybody's saying, is support small businesses and stuff, but it's I don't know.
There's
man.
only
like,
so many you can help.
Yeah, there's only so many you can help, and like Alma and I have been eating out quite a bit, but that's not all of our diet, like we
I saw that fucking smirky piece of shit.
Way to break the fucking tension, Joel.
Sorry, go on.
Like, that's not all of our diet, and like we have to cook for ourselves, but small businesses are just getting fucked left and right.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be hard to come back, and
especially in a city,
even if they do rebound.
Yeah, especially in a city that, like, the whole reason why we didn't want like a Walmart in our city was because we knew like it would fuck up a lot of small businesses, and now it's just like, they're all gonna kind of die anyways. But it's not because
crazy.
of
like
restaurants
already run on a small margin as it is. Like it is tough. This is gonna fuck everything.
Yeah, I'm not. It's, in regards to small business, like I'm more worried about restaurants, laundromats, stuff like that. When it comes to clubs and fucking stuff like that, I'm just like, whatever, Like if it's
support your local gentleman's club. God.
Hey, look, it's just
they're all downtown.
It all affects everything affects the culture of the city. Like it's gonna change drastically.
Yeah, no
matter
what. No matter what. That first day that we all take our first step out that door into
because
regular life, it's not going to be the same.
The companies and the stores and everything that's going to survive, or at least have the best chance of surviving, are going to be the big name companies.
Yeah, for real.
That's just of how things are. And in a city that like is so based off of small businesses, unique stores, stuff like that, it's just like, imagine Amoeba Music or Amoeba Records. Imagine that closing down. Like that is.
I think it's the last one. I think it was the last one, other than the only two that are left. With this one and the one in Hollywood or something.
Yeah,
that would be a shock. That would be a huge shockwave to the city.
But like that's what I mean. Like that is such. It's ingrained in like the culture of San Francisco from like historically, and kind of like still like nowadays, but like it's more for like the people that know, and not so much tourists. Not all tourists know about it. Quite a bit still do, but a lot of the ones that do were probably in the like that was their time. Like I know when like Brianna's family would come up, they would go there because they were heavily like influenced by a lot of the music genres in like the 70s and 80s and stuff like that. And like that store it was one of the main key like names. Like everyone knew about them. So it's just like, imagine like something like that closing down. It would be kind of like, holy shit, because then you lose a lot of that. Like,
I don't remember if it did or not. I didn't follow up. But there was talks of City Lights closing down. Whoa. Which is the historic library library, a bookstore here in the city which was like the center of like the beatnik movement.
Mm-hmm.
Is where shoot, what's his name? It's where that one guy, Red Howell. Man, not Kerouac. Allen Ginsberg. I believe Red Howell. He got arrested there too after the fact. Huge thing, but it's possible that it's gonna go out permanently
That's wild,
because of this whole
man.
thing.
And it's so interesting to think about because this isn't our home city, but it is our home now, and we don't have as many roots as a lot of people who grew up here and stuff. But we're still gonna see the massive effect that's gonna have on us, and we have made our ties in a lot of the historical places that exist in this city, and it's gonna suck,
dude. It sucks. Like it's just I don't know. It's thinking about it right now. It's just weird. Like I don't know how. I mean, I guess life's gonna be like it was when I first moved up here because I didn't really go out too often then. But I'm just thinking like the hate sounds like a fucking no go. It's not gonna be like it was. Their thing is gonna be pretty much impossible, I guess. Because it's a 6 feet rule, really. Like it's not gonna happen.
Oh hell no, not in a thrift shop.
Dolores is.
Oh, they're already putting fucking real strongholds on that.
Yeah. So yeah, Dolores, for those who don't know, it's like it's a park in the city where everyone goes on sunny days, and they're just packed shoulder to shoulder, the whole shirtless or not shirtless, just sunbathing, looking at the city skyline,
smoking J's,
smoking,
dropping acid,
eating popsicles,
shrooms,
just having a good time. But yeah, that's definitely not. That's like a key part of the city, and that kind of like behavior and culture is a key part of the city, and it's just not something that can happen now.
Yeah,
it's just weird. It's weird to think about.
Yeah, I personally like because of what I do. I'm worried about the museums. I mean, we have only so much help, and we had to like bank on a government loan for the museums to help us out. Or for the government to help out the museums in order to pay us. And it really sucks, man, because one of the big questions when people started shutting shit down is like the Met in New York shut down, and they started laying people off because they just couldn't afford it. So that was one of the big questions. But luckily, we've been fortunate at my work enough to still get paid till the end of June. But say this thing, just like LA County, gets extended 4 months. Like,
yeah, I mean, it will.
I mean, I understand what this does to me personally as a worker. Like, I'm out of work for another 4 months, and I possibly might have to go on unemployment. But what does that mean for the museum itself? You know, like we're smack dab in the middle of Golden Gate Park and over in Lincoln Park. Like those are like these are buildings that have such rich history in the city, and they're possibly not going to exist at some point. Like,
I feel like they're safer than most.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's yeah,
and yeah,
that's not to be denied.
What if we get that same extension that LA got? Well, the thing is, I imagine we will, right? Because I was saying earlier, originally the thought was we'll wait this out till May or June. You know, when summer comes in, heat kicks in, sun's gonna kill the coronavirus, whatever. Like, we don't experience the summer here. We experience summer maybe 3 weeks out of the year,
San Francisco summer,
between fucking fall and summer, or between like fall and winter, really, the beginning of fall. Yeah. So
or just randomly,
bitch.
Yeah. So we can't really bank on that. Granted, it's been sunnier and hotter here this year alone than it has in my entire, I feel like, life living here. But we can't bank on that. So I don't know when this thing will ease up, and I don't think it will until there is a vaccine or something. Like, we can't. There's no returning to normal. This could be a new normal, and it's going to be weird.
No, it's hard to look past.
Yeah, no. Like almost every every Zoom call with my professors end up leading to like at least a 30-minute to 45-minute long just like kind of talk as to how shit's going to end up changing. I mean, also they're philosophers, so it's kind of what they do.
Yeah,
Just
I
sit around
mean,
and think a lot. So
yeah, that's I get that's pretty much why I got stuck in this thought in the first place. Like, it's just weird because
yeah,
again, this is
no.
I keep saying that, but it's just this is a small city, 7 by 7,
Mm.
but we have a population of how much? 3 million, something like that. A lot,
The
a
city
lot.
itself, yeah. The city itself has like 1, 2 million, whatever. The county, much more. Uh, I don't know the exact numbers, but yeah,
A
no. I
lot of
mean, like,
people, and there's a lot of people commuting into the city, and that's just not happening anymore. So how is that going to
and
affect life here? Period.
no, yeah. My professors. I mean, some of them are saying like, I'm never gonna, and they were like, well, I can't say never, but as much as I can do it or actively ensure, I'm never gonna look at public transportation the same.
Oh
And
hell no.
if I can, not gonna take it. I will actively try to make sure not to do it. Whether that means I invest in more biking, car, like actual car, because like he's like, I'm from New York. One of the reasons why I came to SF is because like I, I've never really needed to live or in the cities I lived in. I never needed to worry about owning like an actual car. I can get by with public transportation, but now I can't say it the same way. And I'm just like going, fuck, you know. And I think a
Considering
lot of
getting a
people see
moped.
this. Oh, dude, good luck. So we're gonna Target. I know this. Did you
Yes.
know? Almost all the bikes were sold out completely. And like,
No, not surprised.
yep. They're
I,
like, I was telling my professor,
I said
like,
moped, but
well, yeah, I know, but you get what I mean.
yeah.
Um, yeah, like we knew, you know, like, we're not gonna see these aisles of like cleaning supplies or like paper towels and toiletries. We're not gonna see them stocked anytime soon. But we were not expecting all of our bikes and skateboards to be fucking sold out and all of our inventory in the back completely sold out. And then like when you look at all the other stores, they have barely like one or two. And like they're selling out and it's just like, what the fuck happened? And a lot of it, like my professors and I were talking, is just for those that still need to work or get around that relied and only ever use public transportation, they probably don't have that anymore. And they probably won't be using that anymore. So everyone and their mother invested probably in bikes or skateboards or something. And I wonder if Boosted will make a comeback. Well, you don't think they will? I mean, I would
If they
say the
do,
demand is much higher, and if they do, they would have to lower the
if,
prices. That's for
if
sure.
they do, I don't think they will lower the prices.
You don't think so?
Like to a degree where it's actually easily accessible to people. No, especially not in this city. I don't know.
To be fair, scooters and bikes are a little bit more, you know, the demand. I think it's mainly because of like hills, you know? Like I'm more willing to go up a hill with a motorized bike and scooter than I am probably a skateboard
Honestly,
or
Yeah.
one wheel.
I'm scared to travel on anything with wheels. That's not a car in this city.
Though to be fair, San Francisco apparently did have a pretty big boosted board community.
Huh,
Yeah.
I bet.
Like they had their own like Reddit page and Twitter. I followed them for a
Damn.
bit.
That's random.
Yeah.
How's
But yeah,
how are like it's theaters, when are they ever going to reopen? And if
I
they do,
mean,
like it's going to be at a reduced capacity,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
and it's just
I mean,
the
Rihanna
movie theater
was
experience is going to be different for till this is over,
yeah.
because you're not going to get
So
those packed opening night. Sorry, you're not going to get those packed opening night experiences with
No.
everyone. Just feeding off the energy that everyone else is
mhm,
giving off there. Just being there, just sharing a moment in time. That's kind of going to be reduced dramatically.
yeah.
That's a big part of the theater
So
experience.
according to Brianna, she knew actually that there was a lot of talk that in her theater alone, they were planning on renovating.
Daniel, you still there, bud?
Yeah, still here.
What happened? Did it get
Can
really
we just
bad?
wait for him to catch up?
I
Oh.
guess it looks like the way it's frozen on my screen. It looks like he's in very deep thought.
Like, I feel like if we could see his hands, he'd be doing this,
Yeah,
and the caption would be aliens.
aliens. He's back.
There was like a smell. It smelled like eggs. So I was like, "What the fuck?"
You got
Is it still
possessed
frozen?
just now is
You
what
got-
happened.
This is
That was
Is
a
sulfur.
it still-
demon.
It's
Is
sulfur.
it still frozen?
No, you're
No.
good. We see you now.
Oh, okay.
We couldn't see or hear you. Well, technically, we saw
Oh.
you. It was just frozen.
Okay.
Yeah, it just
Well,
completely
anyways,
cut out. Yeah.
interesting. Well, anyways, so I was talking to Brianna, and she was saying that at least at her theater, there was a lot of talk about turning more of the theaters into IMAX style theaters. So getting rid of a lot of the close, huh? Oh, XD, IMAX, XD, pretty much the same shit.
No, it's not.
Okay, whatever, Brie. Basically, the idea, like, you know, you get your own private, like, cushion seat, which is a little bit more spacious and not, like, scrunched up right next to a person. So, she was like, that was already in talks. So I can imagine more companies or more theaters probably doing the same and maybe putting even more spacing in between the seats to
Yeah,
keep that
because
more.
like there's more space between that than
Social-
a normal seating,
Social
but it's
distance
not
movies? Hell yeah.
not much of a difference.
Yeah, but it's still in the sense, but yeah, so it's still in the sense that it's spacious, and then they were like, it would be a reduced capacity because obviously much bigger seats
Yeah.
can't fill as many people. So yeah, so it was a lot of like Brianna was just saying that they had a lot of talk, and that was just her theater alone. But I don't know. I don't know how theater. I don't. The theaters aren't coming back for like another year or two. That's for
No.
sure. I mean,
I
even if they were to open up, I mean, everyone more or less canceled or pushed back all of the release dates.
mhm.
So, and even if for them to not, then they would have to print all of that and then deliver it, and all their
think-
deliverables would take forever. So it would just be like, yeah, theaters could open up next week, but like they wouldn't have anything to push out for like months.
I think right now it might be AMC. They're set to open like 2 weeks before Tenet comes out, which is Christopher Nolan's next movie.
Right.
Yeah. So that right now they're planning on reopening, and they're hoping things are going to be good enough to release this movie.
Wait, which
Tenet.
Sorry, huh? Sandman?
Tenet.
Oh,
The
Tenet.
time travel, the time movie that Christopher Nolan's working on.
David
Yeah,
Tennant.
sorry. Brianna was telling me apparently her boss was saying like if they were to reopen, the only thing they can bank on is just old movies.
Yeah, that's
Like-
what if it is AMC is that's what they're doing. The weeks leading up to Tenet, they're going to be re-releasing old movies.
Back
Yeah,
to the
old
Future
movies.
Marathon.
Avatar, or whatever the fuck it was.
Back to the Future Marathon again.
I just watched
Can
the
they?
movies. I'm chilling.
How many of them can they do?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, I doubt they're going to be playing back any Universal based movies
Yeah.
because they kind of
AMC.
self-sabotaged on that end.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing. Yeah, because the trolls. And like I get it from a business standpoint. It's just like, bro, the fuck? You know? Because apparently they didn't really announce or let anyone know that they were gonna be doing that. And they kind of just said, hey, on demand. And all the movie theater companies were like, the fuck? Apparently even Justin Timberlake and Anna Kendrick didn't even know that was gonna be a thing. So
Do the face, Joey.
both of them
What?
were kind
Do
of
the face.
and
was that the one?
Yeah.
so
There you go.
both of
Just for you,
those
buddy.
actors were kind of just like, wait, so what happens to our theater bonus or whatever it's called? Or like ticket sale bonus or whatever the fuck.
I like this style.
But yeah, no, so I don't know like how good of a thought that was because again, for those that want to bank on any re-release, Back to the Future, if I'm correct, is a Universal-based property.
It is.
It is. I think the Harry Potter. I don't remember.
Fuck. No, that's Warner Bros. But that means they'll Scott Pilgrim then, because they did.
Mm.
They did.
Basically, there are a lot of animated movies are also Universal. There's a lot of Fast and Furious. There's a lot of like series of movies. You know, like or what are they called? Not trilogies. I guess series is fine, but like Fast and Furious,
franchise.
like franchise, yes, franchise that like the Universal had that were big names and they're old, and it's just like, are they going to replay those? Because I don't think they are. If they don't want to play any of the new ones, I don't know. The whole theater thing, kind of when they did it, I was just like, why are you doing that? I mean, that's why I'm kind of interested in seeing how Scoob is going to do, because I think one of the reasons why Trolls did so well is because it was like the first one, and we're all in a spot where this is the only way we're going to see movies. So it's going to be interesting once like all this kind of loosens up and we're able
Was
to
it the
go to
first
theaters.
one? What do you mean, first
It
one?
was part of the first batch.
It was like the first batch, but the first like movie officially, I think, because all the other ones were already had theater releases or they were already streaming in some capacity, if I remember correctly, including like even like Invisible Man. I think had like in some capacity
Invisible
already had
Man,
a
yeah,
release.
was out for like 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah. So I don't know. It could also be very much be just like the first big name one. But from what I had heard and read, it was like the first one, like since it had like the lockdown to be like released. Everything else had in some way already had like their release in some capacity. I don't know for sure.
What do you guys miss the most?
From restaurants.
Yeah, restaurants,
just
bars.
being able.
I miss going out to dinner.
So miss going out. Just being out. I just miss being out without a care. Brushing shoulders with everybody. You know what I mean?
For me, it's
Frenching
just
everybody I meet. Not giving
for me,
a fuck.
it's just
you know?
not having to worry about being cautious. Because I didn't go to restaurants often. I usually order takeout for what it's worth. I'm not a big bar person, so I never went out. And stores, I work at a fucking store, so I still go all the time. So
yeah,
I'm still going
like,
out.
Just fucking going to just going grocery shopping is like it's stressful now.
Yeah, I guess
like,
for me, it's school.
It's like school. Yeah,
I miss the campus.
Being on campus was nice. Because I felt more productive. Like because I was out.
Yeah, for me, it's like every weekend, I would go out. If not to do anything, I just like I'd go to the store just to walk. You know, I'd walk to the Golden Gate Park, walk around there, or I'd go to Haight, not really do anything, just to walk, browse at whatever the thrift stores have, go to Mission, walk around there, just be out in the city, just see things, just being out, without really having to worry about anything. And I can technically still do walking, right? I can still like for exercise, but it's just not the same.
You know what
I miss like my
I'd have destinations
spontaneous.
of mine. Now it's just like walking. I don't know. It's just kind of sad.
Yeah,
you know what I do miss?
What?
I miss going to your guys' house to record. I miss going and having our studio set up.
I miss fucking occasionally grabbing dinner at Underdogs with you.
Yeah. And
for me, it was my random spontaneous little dates with Brianna. Get off work early enough, meet up with her after her theater, and we would just get like that little ramen place and just like have a nice little dinner. Maybe it's like right after she got work. Maybe it's on her lunch break. Because sometimes I would just be like, "Hey, are you on lunch?" And she'd be like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Go to Tomo's," and she was like, "What?" And I'm like, "I already have a seat. We're waiting on your order right now." You know. It was nice. It was nice being able to like spontaneously surprise her with that. Or like maybe we would get out of the movie and we're like, "Hey, Tomo's is open. You want to just get some ramen?"
You're so cute, John.
I know I am. But yeah, I guess being able to just do whatever I want without having that realization of Oh, right. That's not a thing anymore.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
for me, the store that I would randomly walk around is Best Buy. I love walking around Best Buy. I can't go there now.
I love randomly
So
going to GameStop for no reason, thinking I'm gonna buy something and then just bitching out.
Yeah,
yeah.
for me, it's the thrift stores. I'd randomly go into the thrift store, see what I could find. I got this shirt, this cool like split colored
Oh,
stormtrooper
the
shirt.
3D.
Yeah,
Mm.
which
Yeah.
I bought this at a thrift store, but I actually own this shirt 3 sizes bigger,
Yeah,
like
I know
4 years
you
ago.
I
Yeah,
know.
do.
4 years ago. So when I found this, I'm like, this
Yeah.
feels right.
I
I
have
need
to.
this. I need
I
this
have
shirt.
to. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what I miss. This is what it was just. It was
When
just
you
nice
gonna
finding like
find that
random cool shirts
that
or sweaters
Eminem
and stuff.
shirt to replace the old one?
The recovery one, dude. That'll
Yeah.
make my
Recovery.
fucking day. If I get that shirt, that'll make my fucking day.
Oh
My
man.
Their
year,
stores.
my
Do you think those
lifetime.
are coming back?
What?
Their
No, I
stores?
think we
I don't
mentioned it
know.
earlier. Like it's gonna be a lot harder.
With all the college students gone, I don't think so.
I mean, their stores are also going to be
Um,
like secondhand, technically. How many people are going to be
No,
so
yeah.
fun? Like, I think
Well,
that's the
because then
other thing.
I'd assume part of the policy would be to like sanitize and clean everything, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
should be fine.
It's less of like it actually being clean and the mentality of, can I still trust it? You know?
Joel,
Yeah.
look into
Yeah.
ThreadUp.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's different. I don't like buying things online. I mean, I
Okay.
do. I know. I don't really, because I like being able to see it and feel it and just really get a feel
Yeah,
for it.
I get that. I'm the same way with shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to.
I
It's
like
just
I'll buy it online, but after like I at least get to see it or feel it in the store,
yeah, and it's like you have
or
the
at the very
option.
least, yeah. If I have the option, that's why I like Best Buy, because I would want to buy something on Amazon, but then I'd go to Best Buy just so I could see how it'd look. And I'm like, oh,
Also,
cool.
I
Let's buy this
only
later.
buy things. I only buy things online from stores where I'm a regular at. That way, I know how it's gonna fit.
Yeah,
Like I know
Yeah.
this medium is gonna feel like this. I know this pants
Right.
is gonna feel like this. But if I do it for secondhand stuff, I can't.
Right,
They're
yeah.
gonna fit differently. It's all gonna fit differently.
all right,
Um,
boys. I think
Oh,
we.
I wanted to touch on one last thing.
All right, go for
Touch
it.
on one last thing. Go ahead.
It's always one
Yeah.
last thing. Wait, we got
Schools.
one more thing. There you go, Joe.
Roll it.
Roll it.
I
Roll
know
the
we're
clip.
not in school anymore, but Joelle, how are your sisters holding up? Since you have actual sisters in high school and all that, because
Yeah.
like, I mean, obviously, I still love learning about how like the education stuff is. I blame my dad for that. I will always be interested in like how education functions. And right now, there's a lot of talks about like splitting high schools and stuff like that, and
Splitting
how
high
they do
schools?
their.
I
Yeah,
don't
so,
know too
okay.
much about like because I don't know too much about like how it is for them. They haven't gone into detail. It's just whether like oh I mean, I'm doing homework, we're doing things online, but it's not.
Mm.
I don't really know the fine what is in the fine print. My sister, the older sister, she's sucks. You know, it's a lot. It's hard to be this far in and having to do everything online. Like it's already
Oh, yeah.
hard to commit with all the work that you have to do at the final stretch. And like going to school and being physically in class like helps with that, but just when you have to motivate yourself at every step of the way uh on your own in your room, it gets harder.
Oh yeah,
But
that's
she's at the end here. She's gonna if she's not done yet, she's pretty much done with school. She's graduated. Unfortunately,
was
there's no
she going to
ceremony.
graduate this semester?
Yeah, she's
Oh,
done.
so just like Brianna, or
Yeah.
next semester, because Brianna wants her minor. Yeah, I was telling Brianna, honestly, I wouldn't be too surprised if maybe next year, if whenever they have a graduating ceremony, if they invite any alumni, like back, like COVID alumni, just like, hey,
Yeah.
Oh my
you know,
god.
if you weren't able to walk, if you want to, you're more than welcome to. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, they wouldn't have the actual ceremony like specifically, but just like to all the alumni
Like an
that
honorary
weren't
thing.
able. Yeah, like an honorary kind of thing. I wouldn't be surprised because yeah, Brianna's a little broken up about it because she would be the first one in her family, had this not happened, to be the first one to walk. Right now, she's still looking at the end of next semester because she wants to get her minor. So there might be a possibility that things might loosen up a bit, but we're not gonna, you know, take take that for a grain of salt. Um, but yeah, it just kind of like sucks for like a lot of them, like for any first like generation college students that like are trying to set example, like I guess for their sisters or for their family and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, what, Joel?
Nothing. I won't take offense. It's
Okay.
okay.
All right.
Whatever. Take us away, Daniel.
But
You're lucky you're at the other end of the screen, John, or throat would be a fucking straw right now.
Hey
Well,
man, hey man,
Just kidding.
Vader can force choke someone through the screen.
But yeah, no. Anyways, like I said, I just wanted to real quickly.
Wrong one. Sorry, bud. Sorry.
I have asthma, you asshole.
Talk about that. But yeah, have you heard about the splitting the high schools things? I don't know.
Nah, elaborate on that.
So apparently Bloomberg and some other articles have actually been talking about, because all right, you know how studies have proven like for the past years that waking up at 7 a.m. or 6 a.m. in my case, and probably I think your guys' case, not yours. You got to wake up early or later.
I have to wake up like at 5 for work.
No. During school though. High school. Back in high school.
High school, I would wake up like at 6.
Okay.
7:15.
What about you? Yeah, see, fuck you, Daniel. I had to wake up at 6. But anyways,
I mean, I was supposed to wake up at 6:30, but it wasn't happening.
Well, yeah, a lot of articles like throughout the years have proven like that's not good for like a teenager, like developmentally. It's not good. Like they need to be sleeping more because their bodies are literally growing at an exponential rate. And so like a lot of people are saying like there's that aspect, and then there's the aspect of like, high school doesn't really reflect college. It's two completely drastic. Like we get the periods, but that's pretty much it. You don't get, I mean, because like at high school, you're there from 7 a.m., 8 a.m. till 3, 4, 5. Where in high school, I'm there from 9, I'm off by 12. See ya. I have the rest of my day. And so they were just saying like it's drastically different. And maybe for some people that's every day, could be 3 days a week, 2 days if you only have Tuesday, Thursdays. So they were just saying like now would probably be the time to start looking into like schools, high schools, splitting it up, and where high schoolers can choose, having a more morning afternoon class and then a like mid afternoon to late afternoon class. And because it helps with one, the teenagers being able to sleep in more, getting more rest and all that. But at the same time, it keeps that whole separation because you get the social distancing. Because it's one thing to have 700 students, and it's another thing to have them all out at the exact same time interacting with each other. Or you could do 350 in the morning, they go home, and then new 350 come in later on. So just a lot of like interesting talks about that kind of subject. And I was talking to my professor about it, and we were just kind of going over like a lot of like the intricacies for it, because like obviously like in order for that to happen, like there has to be a brutal change to like a lot of stuff, because what happens for the parents that are gone throughout the entire day, that they need their kids to be at school the entire time, they need their kids to be home or at school because they can't be home watching them 20 like for like the 8 hours that they're at work. But just a lot of interesting talk on that kind of stuff.
That is very interesting, and I've not heard anything about that. I think. I mean, I don't really know. It could be great.
I think
I apparently have no opinions on it. haven't really thought about like school and its function in a while. I barely remember how it does function.
Yeah, I was just like a lot of like obviously just thinking about a lot of what might change, how might things change, and I was telling my professor like what like school very much like work. The reasons why, because some of that is still in place, is just because that's just how things are. And in order to switch it up or change it, it would mean a completely drastic overhaul of how, society goes about things right now. And I'm just like, that's kind of what we're going through, and there is no better time to try to enforce newer, better ways of dealing with things than how it is now. Are the ways schools are functioning, is it the best way? Well, scientifically, apparently not. And the
So
only way to change it,
yeah, how would that work then?
like
Would
what?
it be like a single class?
I don't know.
Registration would be
I
cool.
register. Yeah. I don't know if it would be a single class, like because I mean there are a lot of like variables. Like, do you stick
Like
with
a
the
single
same
subject,
class?
right?
Yeah, or no, or
Is
like
what I
kind of like
mean.
how it's done over in Eastern schools, like in Japan and stuff like that. The same group of kids stay in the exact same classroom the entire time, but the
Hmm.
teachers switch out. Yeah, as opposed
Yeah.
to how we do it here, where we switch out and the teacher stays in the same room. Which one's better? Well, in terms of social distancing and contagion, technically theirs, because you can keep a small 15 set number or whatever it is in there. They're the same ones constantly interacting with each other. So as long as
Yeah.
they're clean, they're not exposing anyone.
There are less
And
variables in
way
the
less variables.
mingling.
Yeah. So I would assume something akin to that. Um, whether periods are still a thing. I think again, if it's more like the Eastern ways, I mean, they could still probably be a thing. It would just switch out professors. Maybe professors would be, I don't know. I don't really see one teacher being in charge of knowing like three subjects. It's kind of harsh. Granted, there are
Especially in
like,
high school. Like once you start getting to high school, like it's not. It's one thing for elementary teachers to like teach their kids everything, right?
yeah,
It's another for once you get to that level of education to expect one person to adequately teach those kids everything.
yeah, it's a lot harder. Though, I mean, a lot of our high school teachers, I mean, half the shit, and it wasn't even their field of interest when they
Yeah,
did it. Like, what's it like?
true.
Mr. Woods, he wasn't a math teacher, or he didn't study math. He studied, I think it was like coding or something. And he was just like, yeah, I guess I could do math. And like Miss Rice was like a different form teacher. I forget what she did specifically, but she was just like, I guess I could do English.
You know the one that always gets me?
Hmm.
Mr. Sawatsky. He was the coach for the football team for the longest time, but he also taught driver's ed.
Oh yeah,
I was like, what the
right.
what?
I
How does
mean,
that
literally
work?
any teacher, right, should be able
Yeah.
to. Almost any of our teachers should be able to. They're all adults and they all drive
But
cars. Ideally, they
yeah,
should be able to teach it.
it's really weird.
But
Actually,
yeah,
I think that one might be a personal thing for him. I'm not sure. But
maybe.
anyway.
But yeah, just wanted to
Yeah,
touch on that.
cool. That one was an interesting one, but yeah, we're going real long.
I just
on
don't know
this
as
one.
much about the education system.
Yeah,
Which
same.
like my thoughts were to talk about the East, and because I know like Japan and like all these other countries have like test better, but also at the same test better against like Americans, but also they sort of separate their smart people versus people who should just do like uh
Yeah,
like vocational stuff where we
blue
don't.
collar
Everyone's
kind of.
yeah, so it's a lot different. We're testing against their best, where they're testing against everyone, all of us.
Yeah,
So comparing those scores, but this is all from what I've heard. I haven't done the actual research, so that's pretty much why I didn't really want to
Yeah.
get into it because I don't have
right.
whole lot of facts to like bring up here, and I don't want to make an ass of myself on accident.
Yeah.
I'll do it on purpose on my terms. It's fine, but I'll hold my mouth. It is very interesting when you brought it up though.
Yeah,
We done?
Daniel, you
We
can
good?
close it out. Go ahead.
Cool,
Yeah.
cool. This has been another episode of the TopCup podcast. Thank you for joining us. If you like what you saw, give us a like and subscribe here on YouTube. If you'd rather hear our faces instead because we're so ugly and you don't like us, then check us out on Google and Apple Podcasts as well
me?
as Spotify.
My God, Joel.
Joel.
Oh, I could do that.
Yes, hello.
It's been nice having you here. Where can the good folks find you?
Nowhere in my room. I'll be in my room. For
Nowhere in your
future.
room. Nowhere but everywhere. But only in your room.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where I'll be forever.
Okay.
You can find me. I mean, you can find me at Senior Fluffles on Twitter. I currently don't have an Instagram. It's fine. I do every week. I do a some watch long commentary with Daniel. We just went through Spider-Man trilogy.
Wait, did you delete your?
We watched. I didn't delete it because you can't. I deactivated it. We just did Rise of Skywalker, so
What was
that's
the point
fun.
of the pictures I took?
What are you talking about?
The fucking cosplay.
For me, I wanted them, and you never finished. You never gave me everything. But yeah, that's at Couch Watchers. So look that up if you want to hear more of me and Daniel.
John, where can they find you if they care?
Hold on. I can get a little bit more. How close can I get? Okay, I can get about this close. I mean, they can find me at any social media at Clingy Mite. Fuck. Goddamn.
And John Way videos at Instagram. You can find me at Your Buddy Danny on pretty much anything. If you can't, then you can find me on some things and you'll find the rest there. And if you want to follow us on our channel, you can follow us at TopCup Vids on both Instagram and Twitter. And as Joel mentioned before, he and I have another thing that we do that's just a little side project called Couch Watchers.
John, put your left eye into the camera because on my screen it'll come together.
This
to one face. Your left. Oh shit! Your right eye.
So,
or Daniel's just trying to keep.
But look
keep
at
this professional.
Face to the camera, so it looks like a face looking. Okay, I can't see. It's dark. Completely dark. I can't see anything.
Yeah.
So until next time, John. Love you, buddy.
Yeah.
Joey.
Yeah.
Love you, buddy.
Love you, dude. This whole time I've been a deep fake. I'm not actually real.
Whoa. You guys out there, we love you. Stay safe. Keep
That
playing.
science gone too far.
See you next.